This actually reminds me of being on the lake with my dad.
Ice fishing? I guess it's about as cold in here.
Well, I always thought that my dad liked being in nature, but now I realized he just didn't like being inside.
We didn't have any nature in Bensonhurst. We grew up with a vacant lot, overgrown, Avenue C. It was great. Oh.
You know your back wouldn't hurt if you actually cleared a spot for your sleeping bag to make it more comfortable.
Comfortable, we're in a cave in Greece, eating delicious sandwiches.
Well, I don't know. I think things are going great. We were able to sneak on the Cassadine Island without anyone finding out. Everything's going according to plan.
You have a plan. That's fantastic. What is it?
We've actually caught a major break. Helena has spent little time in Port Charles, and when she was there, she was mostly focused on Nicholas.
Focus on switching Aiden's paternity test not once but twice.
Yeah, well, it was hard hearing about that over the phone and not being there for Lucky or Nicholas. There's no doubt that it was her.
Okay, she's managed to keep Lucky away from his own kid for the better part of a year of his life. She's made your family a hobby.
Yeah, I mean, she's a bitter old lady who pretty much enjoys making misery for us. I'm sure she got a kick out of the idea of raising a Spencer as a Cassadine.
How is this us catching a break?
Okay, because she hasn't seen you face to face, so she won't recognize you when you apply for a job.
A job? What, you want me to go work for Helena Cassadine?
Well, she's doing some kind of deal with my dad that involves smuggling diamonds.
Yeah, from a source which is hardly reliable.
Okay, but she's always looking for security personnel. And if they're hot, that's even better. So I'm sure with your undercover experience and your killer charm, you will be able to talk her into hiring you.
This sounds a lot like you serving drinks at a bordello. It's all supposed to go so simply and...
Where are you going with this?
I love you. I want to be there to support you, and I want to be that guy who will do anything for you.
Then be that guy who will do anything for me.
Why do you want to do this to yourself? You want to follow your father when he doesn't want to be found. Why, put yourself through all that heartache? I've always wanted to backpack around a foreign country, get to know the land, the people, off the beaten path.
As long as the day ended up in a cozy bed.
I don't mind camping. I can do camping, but I want it to be us together, not about our lives at home and discover a new place together.
That's all I want.
Well, then let's get out of here. Let's bum right off this island. Let's get to the Greek islands. Let's find a place. I'll call in. I'll take a month off. If we like a place, we stay. Let's go to Italy. Then we make our way down to Sicily.
That sounds amazing. You've always wanted to see where your grandfather grew up.
Sure. I mean, figure out my connections to the past, family.
Well, that is exactly what I'm trying to do with my dad. So I can't give up on him.
Dad has given up on you for now. You have to see that.
Not until he tells me to my face that he doesn't want to be my father.
Your dad might not even be heading towards Helena's. That's according to a lowlife who runs a whorehouse. Consider the source.
He was scared for his life.
It's a good reason to lie.
It makes sense that my dad would come here.
Why? So he can exact retribution on Helena for switching the paternity test? That would prove that your dad gives a damn. He does not.
Exactly. He has lost and pushed away everything in his life, and I'm scared he's gonna goad Helena into killing him. Which is why you need to be on the inside so that you can keep an eye out for him.
All right. I'll do it. But you have to promise me that if you find your dad, if he shows up and doesn't want to go home with you, you let this go.
I promise. Oh, and this time you might want to think about leaving your badge behind.
Why?
Because if she finds out you're a cop, she'll kill you.
This is a private island. We don't often get visitors dropping by. Why are you here? Why did you ask to see me?
I'm looking for work. I have experience in private security, and a mutual acquaintance suggested you might be hiring.
Luke Spencer. Ah, how lovely to know that Luke is thinking of me. However, one never knows if Luke's thoughts are leaning toward amorous reunions or more lethal ones. Which begs the question, Are you really prospective security or prospective spy?
If I was spying on you for Luke Spencer, it'd be pretty stupid of me to tell you that he's the one who sent me here, right?
Well,
You could be trying to disarm me by invoking Luke's name to establish a false
sense of trust and security.
That's way too complicated for me. I'm just a guy looking for a job. Things got a little heated back home.
Be less vague.
Basically, I got in the middle of a mob war, and Luke saw that I needed to get out of there, and what better solution than guarding a wealthy woman on a private island?
Albeit an unusual first choice.
Well, I'm into the unusual. No offense.
Are you always so eager to please?
Well, I thought that was part of the job description. I mean, if you're not interested, I can easily slip out the unprotected loophole in your so-called security system and be on my way.
You are an intriguing prospect.
We should at least discuss what your duties would entail.
Well, and if you have any information about Luke Spencer and his family, it would be most welcome.
I haven't seen Luke in weeks. Not since he suggested you as the possible solution to my problems in Port Charles. I thought he was coming here, actually. You haven't seen him?
As the prospective employer, I'll ask the questions. Now, I travel extensively. I assume that your passport is in order?
Yeah, of course.
Any countries where you're wanted for crimes or from which you've been extradited?
Just a little thing in Buenos Aires, nothing to worry about.
Discretion is the key. I have no patience with people who talk about my business.
Not a problem.
And it goes without saying that you must be an expert marksman. And, well, physically fit and willing to provide additional services at a moment's notice.
Can you be less vague about the additional services?
Let's start with the shirt. Take it off.
The shirt.
You're not going all provincial on me now, are you?
Hell no.
Good.
Good. My security staff needs to be flexible.
That's me.
Well, we're all adults. We all have our own special little appetites. Who can tell how tonight will end?